This is not what I wanted to show you today. Usually my art and performance is high energy and slightly ridiculous. I like to bring a party to the stage. I want to explore the best and the worst of the world through confetti and cake and chaos. This isn't going to be that. This is more pillow than party. It is calm over chaos. And that might sound as boring to you as it does to me. Recently, I haven't felt very creative. In fact, I've not felt much beyond absolutely knackered. So I've had to adjust things for today. Halfway through preparing for this showcase, I was hit with a flare-up of ME symptoms that left me, for the most part, stuck in my bed, which doesn't make for great performance. I don't know if you're aware of the spoon analogy, but the idea is if we measured energy in spoons, ME patients have less spoons to get them through the day, and our spoons aren't replenished by sleep. We have to be quite choosy about how we spend our spoons, and I didn't have the spare spoon to produce what I wanted to produce for today. So this is me trying to be creative anyway. This is me working with what I've got. This is art made in my bedroom. It's music from inside all of the pain. These are the poems from my pillow. So the last few weeks I've been in bed, and at any point that I wasn't in bed, I was in my other favourite place, the bath. I have always been a water baby. From wellies in puddles to toes in streams, I'm there. Baths so hot I have to inch my way in. Clenched teeth, tingling thighs, a sigh of relief. But I'm not afraid of the cold. Childhood memories wrapped in Lake Windermere's hold, tied up with the waves of the northwest coast. It's fucking freezing, my sister shouts, but I am far below the surface. A gentle murmur from life on land that I am so desperate to leave. A solo trip to Barceloneta Beach. The salt from the med meets the salt on my lips from the margarita glass. Ben Howard plays through my earphones, the sun dries my skin, and though time may pass, a part of me still lives there. The Hampstead ladies pump. As women slither out of soggy cozzies and cellulite ripples in the sun, I am far away from the world outside this park because I've only just begun to be. Just be. Far away from prying eyes or judgmental ones for that matter. And so as the world carries on in its unappealing ways, I float with friends on a Monday in May. Oh, to be weightless. Oh, to be loved. To be swimming on a Monday in May. There's a moment underwater, seconds away from exhausting lung capacity, a moment when I should be panicking, that I feel truly at peace. I find uneasy pleasure in the absence of breath. Not that I relish in imminent death, but perhaps the possibility. There's something about an environment ill-equipped for my survival that makes me feel alive. Despite conditions that threaten my existence, for some sweet reason, I thrive. Practice, I suppose. So since receiving my ME diagnosis and coming to the realisation that the NHS has little to offer in way of treatment or support, I've been trying some really hippie shit. I've currently got acuseeds stuck to my ear, which are like little acupressure balls that are supposed to trick your brain into doing all the things it's meant to do anyway. At my worst, I struggle to move, which in turn makes me feel worse. So one of my friends suggested chair yoga and bed yoga, which I was dubious about because I'm not 80 years old, but I've given it a go. And disappointing, I'm sure, for my boyfriend, but it doesn't actually involve balancing in the downward dog position on my mattress. It's a lot more thinking and breathing, and it makes me more anxious than anything else, if I'm honest. I've made a lot of jokes recently about my diagnosis and my relationship, the disparities between what me and my partner can do. My boyfriend is 10 years older than me, and I've made a fair few jokes about that. But suddenly the jokes about me having to care for him one day have switched. Poor guy got himself a younger girlfriend and managed to pick the disabled one. Not everyone knows that ME is a disability. I think there's a quite common misconception that it just makes you feel a bit tired. Everybody is different, but for me it's also migraines and panic attacks and muscle spasms and loss of feeling in limbs, and of course a huge dollop of depression to go with all of those things. One of the things that I can do when I'm struggling to be creative is sing. I used to sing all the time, and less so now for whatever reason, but I've recently rediscovered the therapeutic nature of belting out a ballad from your bed, as if your life literally depends on it. And I rediscovered a song recently that I've loved for a really long time, and I never performed it live because there was a sort of pain or struggle in it that I couldn't really comprehend. And I listened to it the other day, and it just perfectly summed up how I was feeling in that moment, trying to write this. So I'm going to share a bit with you. I'm going to turn the light down for ambience. Lately it seems I've lost inspiration. Feels like it's miles away. I sleep through the day, cry through the nighttime, caught in an empty space. It takes effort to fight, I don't have the strength. I'm holding on to what's still left of me. When the life you had planned slowly slips through your hands, when it feels like you've just slept through all the best years of your life, when you can't find your way, when each day ends the same, when you've lost the fight inside of you, is there anything worth holding on to? Ironically, the bulb is energy efficient. One of my main creative tools when I'm making art from my bedroom is my phone, or more specifically, my notes app. I think a lot of us rely heavily on our notes app to get us through our busy lives, and I think particularly for creative people, this can lead to lots of chaotic and beautiful moments. I think it's particularly beautiful that half a poem can exist next to a reminder to book my smear test. There's a page in my notes app full of baby names, ones I've heard and don't want to forget. Another holds the blurb to my first work of fiction, book deals I may never get. Poetry spills from my mind to my notes app to the words you hear now, and who knows where next. And wine. There is still so much wine in my future. I keep note of my likes and my loves, bad and good, ponderings of pleasure. There's a page in my notes app full of every region in France and some New Zealand thrown in for good measure. One page contains 30 things before 30, and it's going less than well. Lack of time or money or willingness to believe that 30 is coming. And there's an uncontainable joy when I hold my nephews, a joy that aches in my chest, a love for them and respect for my sisters for mastering something I'm not entirely sure I'm capable of, anatomically capable at best. And yet some of that ache is a longing. There's no tick-tock of a biological clock or an aching, broody heart. It's a quieter whisper, a reminder in my ear that some chapters are still yet to start. And the one that I'm writing is unfinished, and I have plans for at least 10 more, and some of them should happen before I'm 34, and I'm confused. And I'm driven, and I fear I won't be given a chance to do any of it. I keep a list of baby names for fear of forgetting, but grow in concern for a future me forgetting chance to use even one of those names. For what then for the books not yet written and the wine still untasted, and let's take a moment for the precious moments wasted, worrying about moments yet to come. There's a paralysing sense of what if. What if now? What if never? What if nothing? What if? If I never get to be doctor, or author, or artist, or mum? What if I'm only ever Molly? Molly who lived life in her notes app. So that's it. That's all I have to offer you right now. Thank you for being here in person or online. Thank you for spending a spoon on me. I questioned whether I wanted to make art about disability, but I have decided that this isn't that. This is art in spite of disability, and it's art because of disability. And hopefully a reminder that creativity can blossom in the darkest moments. A reminder that your art, no matter what it looks like, matters. A reminder that your worth is not dictated by the productivity you give the rest of the world. In my darkest moments, I can still sing ballads from my bed. I can sketch in the shadows of my bedroom. If nothing else, I can always write poems from my pillow.